Have you ever had that nagging feeling that something wasn't right? That someone was telling you a story that was just a little too polished, a little too perfect? The average person gets it wrong about 54% of the time. You might as well flip a coin. But I'll tell you this, the best interrogators in the world don't rely on a gut feeling. We rely on a system built on 3 simple principles that, once you understand them, will change the way you see every conversation, every news report, and every interaction. It's not about magic tricks or secret codes. It's about a simple, scientific approach to human behavior that anyone can learn. We'll start with the most critical part of this equation, the baseline method. Now, a lot of folks think they can spot a liar by looking for shifty eyes or nervous fidgeting. And sometimes you'll be right, but that's like trying to find a criminal just by looking for a black hat. It's too simplistic. You see, what's a lie for one person is just a natural habit for another. I had a guy I was interrogating named Marcus, a real fidgeter. He couldn't sit still for a minute. His hands were always moving, his feet tapping, his eyes darting around. If I had judged him by that alone, I would have thought he was a serial liar. But that was just Marcus being Marcus. He was a nervous guy by nature, whether he was telling me the truth or not. The key isn't to look for nervousness, it's to look for a change in behavior. Let me explain it like this. The first thing you need to do is establish a person's baseline. How do they normally act when they're comfortable and relaxed? Ask them a few innocuous questions. How's the weather? Or how's your family? And watch them. Do they usually make a lot of eye contact or do they look away? Do they gesture with their hands or do they keep them still? What's their normal cadence of speech? Take note of all of this. This is their baseline. They're normal. Then, and only then, do you ask the tough question. You're not looking for shifty eyes. You're looking for a departure from their normal. Let me tell you about a case with a suspect named Margaret. When she was talking about her daily routine, she was calm. Her hands were relaxed on the table, and her voice was steady. But the second I asked her about her whereabouts on the night of the incident, her hands suddenly gripped the edge of the table so hard, her knuckles turned white. That was the change. That was the clue. After you've established a baseline, the next thing you need to master is the ability to spot micro-expressions. I'm not talking about a full-on frown or a scowl. I'm talking about a fleeting, involuntary facial expression that lasts only a fraction of a second. This is the moment a person's true feelings flash across their face before they can cover them up. It's a 3-second window, and if you miss it, it's gone forever. Think of it like this. Your conscious mind is the security guard at the door, trying to keep out unwanted information. But when you're under pressure, that guard blinks, and for a split second, the truth slips out. So how do you train yourself to see them? It's like any skill. It takes practice. A lot of practice. The first step is to slow down. Don't just hear what people are saying, watch their faces. What do you see when you ask them a difficult question? Is there a flicker of contempt in the corner of their mouth? A brief flash of fear in their eyes? Or maybe even a hint of joy at your discomfort? These are the moments that matter. The conscious mind can lie, but the unconscious mind, the one that controls these micro-expressions, can't. Now, let's talk about a third key element, what I call the emotional shift. This is when a person's emotional state doesn't match the story they're telling. I had a young man named David I was interviewing about a car accident. He was describing the moment of the crash and the panic he felt. But as he spoke, he was smiling. Not a nervous, apologetic smile, a genuine, happy smile. When I pointed it out, he immediately dropped the smile and looked horrified. But the damage was done. The emotion in his story didn't match the emotion on his face. This is a powerful tool because it forces you to listen with a new kind of awareness. You're not just listening to the words, you're listening to the emotion behind the words. Does the person sound genuinely sad when they're talking about a tragedy? Do they sound happy when they're talking about a success? The next time you're in a conversation, listen for that emotional disconnect. Listen for that moment when the story and the feeling behind the story don't match up. It's easy to get lost in a sea of details, but these three principles, the baseline method, micro-expressions, and the emotional shift, will give you a roadmap. They are the keys to unlocking the truth. But let me leave you with this. These tools are not for judging. They are for understanding. Don't use them to catch people in lies. Use them to understand the person in front of you better. Because a person who is lying is often a person who is scared. And a person who is scared is often a person who needs help.